Does the Philippines have a chance to become a global cities like Tokyo, London, and New York? If yes, why do you think are the key action or beliefs that President Marcos should take to address inequality, poverty, and urban challenges? If not, why do you think the Philippines might not have a chance? And what factors could be preventing this transformation? What in structure and governance priorities are crucial for addressing these challenges?
Poverty challenges in a nation. You know what? Having this as a public administration, so that I really believe that having this platforms which I can use to serve people, we can't be global city. Why? It is
The second question is, what strategies can Marcos administration adopt to align urban development with global city standards? How can sustainability, innovation, and quality of life be developed? Philippine Science. As a Filipino citizen, how can global aspects address poverty, equality, and justice, both locally and globally?
in terms of inequality and also helping people with working in a bad situation, in a big situation of life. And I think the one platform that we can give them is makipagkaisa, or shortly say, let us be united as one, magbayanihan para sa kapwa Pilipino.
The third question is, how effective are President Marcos' policies to address global issues like human rights, justice, and economic growth? Compared to the 30s war on drugs, can these efforts help the Philippines gain global recognition and leadership?
Yeah, in my belief, according to our past president, he helped our country to have a peaceful community, a peaceful environment.
So the fourth question is, in your opinion, despite the contribution of 5,500 flood control projects under the Marcos administration, why do areas like NCR still experience severe flooding during typhoons? Do you believe President Marcos' flood control initiative have been successful or
You know what? We can't guarantee if we can have any tragedy in our life. Like, ito kasi yung mga time, we can, kita lagi hapon mismo ng mga tao in tagumpay at environment. It is a man-made disaster. And I truly believe that because even though you are a politician, you are still encountering such a lot of challenges. You know what? Sabi ko in mga balay, hindi ko ng mga kulungan. It's a very, like,
effect?
yes, it's very nakaka-effect niya talaga sa environment.
What actions should communities and the government take to protect local ecosystems such as forests, mangroves, and wetlands while addressing climate change and meeting the needs of growing population? How can ecosystem protection include flood management and disaster resilience in flood-prone areas?
I think this is the one factors that we should do. Ang paglalang talaga yung basura yung hidrasan. We must segregate our trashes, and let's not, huwag natin itapon yung mga basura sa paligid.
Number 6 question. How effective are President Marcos' policies in addressing global issues like human rights, justice, and economic growth compared to the 30s war on drugs? Can this effort help the Philippines gain global recognition and leadership?
At niya akong presidente ng Pilipinas, yung Marcos, makakabulig ito nila. At iya tanang lang yung at iya kung nag-implement ng balakod para kaya kung natin nila. It is also helpful not only for our nation but also the international.
Despite foundations of 500,000 permanent food control projects under the Marcos administration, why do areas like NCR still experience zero flooding during typhoons? Do you believe President Marcos' flood food control initiatives have been successful for restoration?
Kasi society, we have a lot of people who are don't believe or who don't believe in our presidents. And they are giving a chance, like, ipapalikas talaga yan from that severe pagharami or pag area. If they are vulnerable in typhoons or any tragedy,
Such as forests, rivers, and wetlands, while addressing climate change and meeting the needs of a growing population. How can ecosystem protections improve flood management and disaster resilience in flood-prone areas?
kasi ang yaman, like forest, o sa libid ng yaman, dapat nangukuwi na ng mga hayop ang mga danger species. Kailangan talaga ng mga naman. Okay.
Their questions. If you had to choose between former President Duterte and President Marcos in terms of handling the implications of flood control infrastructure, budget, governance, and actions during calamities, who do you think was more effective in managing the country's infrastructures, disaster response, and climate resilience?
Able to help people who are in a major position or major situation. And I think they are good leader. They manage their people. They manage as a whole people. You know what? Hindi natin kailangan pumili sa kanilang dalawa. Because sa nakikita natin, from the beginning na sumulira sa posisyon na nakikita natin na tubod, gintagan nila ng feedback na mas dapat at impact natin.
How does global historical rights and international rights compare with the China Philippines territorial conflict in the West Philippine Sea? Who between President Duterte and President Marcos is better equipped to handle the issues and insert the Philippines' global interests while upholding national standards and safeguarding territorial?
Nauna sa hindi natin Philippines is nabalikan niya ng mga Chinese na magandang given their seal. Pero I still believe that Marcos administration handled this conflict between China and Philippines. And I think it is more important that aside from conflict, there is still one who are fighting for our own territory. And I think Marcos did a great job in terms of this fighting of our territory. I think, in my opinion, Pampang is hulog yung kahoy. Kay salin-salin ito, especially yung mga businesses out there. Like, pero as, you know what, having a poor family, having this kind of situation that we can't even deny the fact na some Filipino people na nagpupuri. And I saw that before, I witnessed at TV television. I truly believe na bisan pagpag na ito, it really give an income panghayon.
Do you think pagpag is a viable solution to address conflict in the Philippines? And how does it highlight broader issues of food insecurity in the country?
Pagpag is for the solution. Pagpag kasi, that's the reason that the government had very challenging in terms of resolving this kind of situation that we went through, especially for today's generation or for this present time. I think pagpag viable solution to address niya nga aton katgutom.
How can the Philippines address the ethical application of food waste like pagpag while promoting sustainable agricultural practice and achieving the sustainable development goals related to food security?
We are part of the 195 nations who are able to unite everyone. Like, we are a sustainable development, and we are one of them who are having goals, especially health, in terms of health, and also I think these practices give us an impact practices is not promoting sustainability because as by part, dili kasi dili ko malimpyo ang pagkaon and dapat mga possibilities maging causes and diseases like LBM, mag-ursuka, and something like that, especially yung mga bata.
What can the Philippines learn from smaller countries like Singapore, Luxembourg, and Ireland, which have significantly lower population and higher GDP per capita? How do these countries' population management strategies contribute to their economic success? And how can it be applied to the Philippines to improve its economic standing and quality of life?
That's what we're doing right now is some challenging taxations and about the quality of our economy. But I still believe that having this economic success, we can have this goals. We can unite as one. We can grow. We can bring a significant role. Like we can stand the better for our own society.
From your perspective, is population size the primary factor behind a country's economic success? Or do you believe that other factors such as governance, education, and resource management play a more significant role? How does this comparison between the Philippines and smaller leader nations like Singapore, Luxembourg, and Iceland data from Multimeter shape your opinion on the relationship between population and economic prosperity?
I still believe that the perspective of population size is not about the people, but it's about the education kasi kulang kita talaga ng education, and as far as I know, Catriona Gray emphasized the platforms of how does education is important, especially kasi daw na nalagay na atin ng mga out of school youth, and I think it's one reason why we can have factors behind our country economy. So I think education and governance as well is one of the thing na dili talaga kita magiging, kasi ang magiging significant role in it is to manage people, to have a good governance, also to have